Hey guys, check this out. Look at these names. You got Ed Milet, you got Bradley. I'm good friends with Bradley. Sean Whalen, Carlos Reyes, Gary Bruck, I'm friends with him. Kent Clothier, I'm really good friends with him. Aaron Wagner, amazing, amazing speakers over here at MenixCon. I'm so grateful to be here speaking. Let's go take a look at my talk. What's up, guys? Yo, thank you. Thank you. What's up, guys? 35 minutes. Wow. 35 minutes. They don't know that I do like 16-hour lives all the time. Guys, my name is Pace Morby. At the end of the day, all you guys care about is what I can do for you. So I'm going to try and give you guys some amazing stuff today. All right? Who knows about Chat GPT? Like, anybody afraid of what's going to happen in the future? Yeah. You know why I wore all black today? Because most people's businesses are going to die. It is your funeral. Chat GPT, if you do not utilize it correctly, it will ruin your business. So take it. Here's what who does not know what Chat GPT is? Okay, this is amazing. This is amazing. Everything's going to change. So what they've done is they've created artificial intelligence that has access to all information over the globe. Nathan, where you at, bro? Where's my guy? 18-year-old kid. I literally just hired him while Jordan Adler was speaking. I just hired this kid. He's like, I'm gonna go apply for Verizon. I'm like, no, you're not. You're coming and working for me. Okay, why? Ooh, I got a great question. I'm gonna go off script, which is literally 100% of what I do. How many people in here are branding themselves? How many people in here are not branding themselves? Hands really, really high. Okay, keep them up. I want to see who it is. I want to look at you because I'm going to pick on a couple of you guys. Okay, you're not branding yourself. I have a feeling that when you get teased, you don't like it. Can I tease you a little bit? He's like, please do not. Okay, for the people that don't think they're branding themselves, I want to tell you guys that you are branding yourself. But how are you branding yourself? You're branding yourself as inconsistent. You're branding yourself as lack of self-esteem. You're branding yourself as somebody who cares what other people think. You're branding yourself as somebody who doesn't believe they bring any value to the marketplace. Therefore, why would I share? That's how you're branding yourself to me. Does that hurt anybody? Does it help you understand you should be branding yourself the way you choose to brand yourself rather than the way that you are just kind of by default branding yourself? Okay, why do I bring that up? I bring it up because everything is going to change. Artificial intelligence is going to change the way we interact. Okay? It is going to change the way that businesses are growing, being handled. Okay? I'm standing behind Nathan. And what he's looking at on his computer screen today is what I saw, and that's how he branded himself. He's looking at and actually coding a plugin for Chat GPT. What does that mean? Ryan Chenoweth? Are you freaking kidding me? One of my favorite human beings on the entire planet. I freaking love you, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. So he's sitting there looking at this coding, and I go and I choose to sit right next to him, and I go, tell me about what you're looking at. Here's what Chat GPT is going to do. Everybody that does outreach to your clients, you guys have acquisition people, you guys have salespeople in your organization, Chat GPT will replace 90% of them. It is so naturally conversational that it will replace 90% of salespeople. It will replace customer service. People that have customer service. It will replace customer service. It will also expose people. So think about this. I'm on stage all the time. I'm on A&E television show. It's kind of weird. I have a paycheck that says Disney on it that comes in every 2 weeks. That's a weird thing. Disney owns A&E. So luckily, Disney verified everything that I ever said about myself to be true before they ever put me on their network. But let's say that you guys see a cold traffic ad, right? We call them in the business, in the info business, we call that a cold traffic ad. Who runs cold traffic? Anybody in here? Anybody ever clicked on an ad because somebody said something really cool and you're like, that's cool, I want to learn about it? Raise your hand for me. How do we know that information is true? Here's what's going to be really interesting. If you guys Google right now, how many houses does Pace Morby own, will you find out? No, because Google doesn't have access to that information. Chat GPT will have access to that information. It actually will go and crawl through the internet, through county records, and it will then come to you and go, Pace owns 14 houses in this place with these addresses. He owns 18 houses in Atlanta, Georgia. They're currently on Airbnb. Here's the link directly to them. Google does not have this capacity. If you go to, hey, Nathan, didn't you write a business plan today, right? Yes. What was your business plan about?
So my business plan.
Louder, Nathan. He's 18. Give him a round of applause, by the way.
Yesterday, during the 10K investments, I had an idea, an idea on the napkin. So I thought it was.
Okay, there we go. Love it.
Pass it back. Ready? Who's the cutoff?
By the way, I really like what Nathan Adler said. There we go. There we go.
Okay. So, idea on a napkin. I thought of this idea, and essentially it was Airbnb for planes. So I was thinking, how could I present this to a professional person such as the 10K investments in a fast amount of time? So I worked yesterday.
How much time would it take for anybody in here to write a full business plan, like incredibly well crafted, bullet points, topics, perfectly laid out? How long would it take you to do that? A couple of days? How long did it take you?
It took me about 10 minutes.
But did you write a single word of it?
No. All I did was
that is in just a 30-second summation, that is what Chat GPT will do to this world. Any answer you want, anything that you want, you say, write a rap song, but in Donald Trump's voice. It will do it, and it will make it sound better than Tupac ever sounded. That is out right now. That is happening right now. People are putting Chat GPT on their websites. You have a plugin for your own, like when you go Google on your computer, you have Chat GPT there that also gives you a better answer than Google does, right?
Yes, so there's actually extensions that are already being made to enhance Chat GPT. So if I were to Google something, right next to it is going to be Chat GPT beside it. If I'm going to watch a YouTube video, I'm going to get a summarization and transcription of that YouTube video. If I'm going to read an email and don't have time to respond to somebody, I can hit reply to this email, and it will read their email and reply to them automatically. And I'm not going to have to do it anymore. I'm not best writer. This is perfect.
If you're a copywriter, your job is over. If you are going to college, it's a waste of time. I'm telling you, this is out right now. This was released in November. Everybody on the planet is talking about this. There's nothing more talked about right now on the planet than Chat GPT. I don't care if you're a garage door guy. I don't care if you're a multi-level marketer. I don't care who you are. Chat GPT will completely demoralize you if you do not listen to what I have to say in the next 27 minutes. And this is all I can think about this morning. I'm listening to what's happening with Chat GPT. There will be no need for you to text a customer anymore and wait for your acquisition people to answer appropriately. There will be no need for most of your acquisition people to go through sales training, because Chat GPT in 30 seconds can answer a question to your customer via text message better than any human being could, and conversationally. There's already websites right now for lonely men that say, I want a girlfriend, and Chat GPT will literally have create a full-blown relationship with that man better than any woman ever could. Guys, this is happening right now. This isn't, hey, this is coming. This is something that has been launched. So think about this, okay? Service people, you're probably pretty safe. Okay, you're a contractor. Contractors, raise your hand. You're safe. Okay, because they're not, ChatGPT can't get out, put its pants on, go out to the job site and actually install a garage door. That's not going to happen anytime soon. We've got 30, 40, maybe 50 years until that happens. But if you are in a sales position, right, let's say you're buying houses. Right now, there's already people that have completely stopped cold calling, and they've stopped mass text messaging, and they've started implementing ChatGPT, reaching out to homeowners, reaching out to real estate agents, and having so much better conversations than any other cold caller or salesperson ever could. China has just released a mandate saying that nobody is allowed to use this AI because it's so powerful. Guys, do we understand this? Can I move on to the next thing? Okay. I'm going to tell you, last year I bought $250 million in real estate. Okay? Last year, 2022. The majority of it came from my community. And the talk, which is funny because most people want me to talk about what? They want me to talk about real estate, creative finance. I'm the #1 person in the nation talking about creative finance, which is how to buy houses with no cash, no credit, no credentials. But here's the thing. If you're a coach, anybody in here that's a coach, you should be worried about Chat GPT. Because the old guard, we've all been there, right? We all go to like a seminar and they withhold the information from you so that they can sell you this really beautiful package over here. Don't you think that Chat GPT is going to completely annihilate that? Information is no longer going to be able to be charged for. Because what Chat GPT does is it takes all the information that's ever been put out, every YouTube video it scours, every single article on the internet, public record, divorce dates, and it will come with an answer that is so perfectly precise to what you need and what question you have that you will never need another mentorship, another class, or anything ever again. Powerful. This, for me, is the greatest news I've ever heard. Why is that? Because it gives people that actually care a unique advantage. What do human beings want more than anything else? You're close. Okay, write this down and remember this. This is for you guys, for anybody. I used to be a contractor. I renovated about 7,000 homes in my career, so I know a thing or two about being a contractor. But what does every human being want more than anything else? It's to be seen. Human beings want to be seen. The reason why we want a purpose is so that we can go do something cool and we can have some sort of recognition for what we did. Cut it down. Be really raw with it. Why do we want to be really good parents? Well, naturally, we have a biological disposition to be great parents, but also part of that is we want our children to see us as good parents. We want our friends and family to see that we're a good person, right? We want to be seen in whatever light. That is more than anything I've ever known in my life. That's what human beings want more than anything else. So here's what happens. Let's say somebody sees a cold traffic ad of mine, right? Anybody's ever seen an ad of mine? Okay. We spend a lot of money to make sure you do. Okay? And I say, hey, I bought this house at 78 Maddox in Atlanta, Georgia with no money out of my pocket. What if you go to Chat GPT and you go, did Pace really buy this house on 78 Maddox? Guess what? Google has no ability to tell you that, but Chat GPT does. Chat GPT can go into public record, go into the county recorder's office and say, nope, no existence of any entity or Pace Morby has ever touched this property. Anything that you ever say out loud can be verified with a bot in 2 seconds. This is powerful. Absolutely powerful. And I love it. So I'm going to give you guys some advice, okay? You guys are going to learn that over the next couple of years, in probably 2 years' time, community will be the most important thing in anybody's individual business, okay? So for me, this is how community started. Sorry, can you guys tell that I went on a deviation? Anybody? This is me, TV show, cool, whatever. YouTube, 130,000 subscribers. Got a lot of people that try and learn from me. I have about 7 million minutes watched on a weekly basis on my YouTube channel. By the way, think about this. I'm going so off topic, but I'm like looking at all of you guys as business owners, and you guys are failing at some of the most basic things. You guys look at me and you say, a lot of people say, how do you accomplish so much? I go, well, I didn't accomplish so much. My YouTube channel has created 1,400 clones of me. Think about a clone. Anybody in here have a YouTube channel? Are you posting consistently?
Starting to, yeah.
Okay, you're starting to. Here's what's great. I can create a clone of myself. I look at that camera, we're all the way back there. Eric is filming me. I am not on stage right now talking to you. I am currently creating another clone of myself. to go out and do things for me for the rest of its entire life. Think about that. So if I have 1,400 YouTube videos, in my mind, I have 1,400 clones. And if that script is perfect, it will do exactly what I want that clone to do for the rest of my living days and beyond. For example, raising capital for real estate deals, maybe recruiting employees, maybe selling a product, whatever it is. So if you guys are contractors, I can see the house on your hat. You're a contractor.
Inspector.
You're an inspector. Okay, perfect. Do you have a YouTube channel?
Yes.
Okay, are you thinking about it intentionally as in I'm creating a clone to go out and do my work for me?
I am now.
You are now. Right? Anytime somebody thinks about or asks a question about how do I inspect this or what do inspectors do or what's the worst thing you've ever found during an inspection, somebody's Googling that or Chat GPT will pull it up and somebody will be delivered your clone to speak on your behalf for the rest of your life. I have 1,400 people that look like me that were created by me by this little thing that you guys call a camera, but something I call a clone creator. I don't look at a camera as a camera, I look at it as a clone creator. So now I am currently, right now, in the whole entire world, I am being watched by over 7 million human beings on a weekly basis. My TV show, I don't care about it. But what it does is it creates a clone of me that now gets syndicated now from A&E to now Hulu. And if that clone is crafted properly, it now goes out and does my bidding for the rest of my life. How powerful is that? Write that down. You are not creating content, you are creating clones. So when you say, man, if I could just make another one of myself, I could dominate the world. Meanwhile, I've got 1,400 of them just on YouTube. Think about that. Okay? Most people will go out and go, I need to hire somebody, I need a right hand, I need a COO, I need a this, I need a that. Okay, well, start duplicating yourself. Start creating clones. Wow, I went way off topic. Was this good though? Okay. All right, cool. I've been able to travel the world with my best friend, Jamil. He's actually my competitor. All right. Fierce competitor. Him and I own nothing together, and we travel the world together. It's a lot. I've done a lot in my life. I've had a lot of fun, but here's the number one compliment I get on a weekly, daily, hourly, minute-by-minute basis. Who's in my community? Are you guys proud to be in my community? Yep. This is the number one compliment I get, which is why they asked me to speak on stage today. They don't even care about anything I told you about Chat GPT. They don't care about anything I said to you guys about creating clones, but you do need to hear all these things. The compliment I get is, man, you have the best community. Your people show up, they do the things. Okay? Here's the thing, I started as a contractor. And I didn't have a clone, not even one. I was afraid to post, I was afraid to do the things. But I realized that the world was missing something, and this is where I tie Chat GPT into this conversation. The world is missing something, okay? While the world is trying to automate things, and the world is trying to make things really easy for people to not have other human beings involved, that is actually the greatest opportunity you'll ever have. Because what's great is what automation will do is it will purge all the fake people out, and all the people with real heart will be able to rise to the very, very top. Okay? It's powerful. And this is where community comes in. So let's talk about community. Community is amazing. Here's how I define community. Community is a group of people that care more about the other members of it than they care about themselves. Now think about this. What if your family's success was contingent upon your neighbor's success? Meaning, if you cared as much about your neighbor as you currently care about yourself, and that was the only way to pay your bills, would this world be a better place? Crazy, right? So I can tell you that is how I bought $250 million in real estate last year. I cared more about the human beings I was doing business with than anybody else. Okay? So let's talk about how I actually built a community and what that actually means. So had no brand, nobody knew who I was just a local guy. A local guy that not a lot of people liked. You want to know why? Because they didn't know who I was. How can a lot of people not like me when not a lot of people even know who I am? Nobody knew who I was. So you guys look at me and you go, oh, you're a guy with a TV show, you're a guy with this, you're a guy with that. Well, this is something I did not know. Building a brand and a community so you can raise a lot of money is super powerful. I had no idea what I was doing was the right thing, but I'm going to give you guys the recipe, okay? Oh, this is good. By the way, how much time do we have? Right? A lot of you guys have already broken your New Year's resolution. It's like January 15th or something. Okay, and it's like tomorrow I'm going to post on YouTube. Tomorrow I'm going to hire that person to help me in my business. Tomorrow I'm going to fix this problem with this employee. Tomorrow I'm going to do this. Tomorrow. Where are my parents in here? My proud parents. Okay, cool. Check this out. So this is my daughter, Corbin. Look how freaking hilarious she is, dude. Oh my gosh. Her little like beaded candy necklace on the left, that's so freaking hilarious. This is her today. She's now got a little sister. She's 4 years old. Have you guys ever left your house for like 3 days, gone to a seminar, done whatever, and you come home and you see your kids have physically grown since you've been gone? Isn't that crazy? Like even sometimes one day you're like, dude, whoa, like you grew like a freaking weed. I had this thought one time. I came home and I saw my daughters growing. I saw my son. I was like, dude, when did you like get a mustache? What the heck? This is so weird. And I sat down that night with my wife and she's like, wow, yeah, she's like, I don't see this change. I'm like, yeah, because you get to see them every day. I sometimes leave for 3 days and I come home and I see this massive change. And I asked her this question. I said, man, I gotta really write this thought down. She's like, what's the thought? And I said, the thought is, I left for 3 days. I came home and I saw the change in my kids. But I wonder if my kids see the change in me since I've been gone. How much time do you really have? All the things that you're putting off, the opinions of other people that you care about, the tasks that you continually don't work on, the people that you say you're going to help, but you end up not helping, and it becomes all about me, right? Well, what I'm going to tell you, some people won't like. I'm going to be blunt, okay? So I always say before I jump into this, stop. And if this is not for you, that's okay. If you don't have a helper's heart, you will not like this. And I can tell you right now with Chat GPT and all of these other things, what I'm going to tell you will not be fun for you because you're a mechanical human being that doesn't like other human beings. I don't think there's anybody in this room that is like that. Usually people that come to these things really want to meet other people. They want to help other people. And so that you guys have the advantage over what's going to change in the market. Okay? People that have a lot of followers, a lot of audience, a lot of fans, they act like those people are their community. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, what do you think the difference between you and somebody else in terms of your community? I go, the difference is I actually know what the definition of the word community means. It's not an audience member. It's not somebody that follows me on Instagram. It's not somebody that follows me on TikTok. I would rather have 500 people in my community than 5 million followers on Instagram all day long, okay? You have to understand that you have to have impact before you get income, okay? If you don't stress out about solving other people's problems, then go run ads and go raise money, okay? The world is going to change. And here's what happened. I was in the real estate industry, and I can tell you the real estate industry, just like everybody else's industry, especially being a contractor. When I was a contractor, contractors are really hard to collaborate with. You know how many times I tried to go to lunch with other contractors and go, who are you hiring? What appraiser are you using? What inspector are you using? Dude, I'm not giving you my information. It took me 7 years to build that information. And there was such a lack of collaboration. How many people, your industry lacks collaboration? That you feel like, man, I want to share with people. I can tell you, I came from the real estate industry. It's a bunch of blue crabs in a bucket. We all know the story of the blue crabs. The second one blue crab starts rising, the other ones reach up and try and tear it down. Okay? So here's what I recognize in my industry. I jumped into real estate, started getting some success, got around some really amazing people, Ryan Chenoweth being one of them. I learned so many things from this man. I'm so proud to be your friend. Thank you so much. Partly some golf. I did learn some golf from you. Phenomenal golfer. If you guys want to go and play with him on the golf course, he's awesome. Okay, but there was a big problem in our real estate industry is nobody wanted to collaborate. So here's how I found this out. Check this out. This is such an interesting little story. I discovered that no one wanted to help me on forums and online communities that I was part of. If I needed something done, I had to do it myself, and no actual real estate community really existed. Everything was just a forum. How did I find this out? Here's how I found this out. I get a lead one day. Okay, by the way, Chat GPT is probably going to give me all my leads for the rest of my life. So this was a direct mail lead. Okay, mail the homeowner. Homeowner lives in Colorado. He's retiring, and his winter home he wants to sell in Phoenix. He says to me, Pace, I'll sell this house to you. No problem. That's a good price. I understand you got to make money too, but I'm not going to sign the contract until somebody that I'm doing the deal with comes to my house in Colorado and signs with me face to face. He's an old school guy, right? I go, no problem. I'll send over a mobile notary tomorrow morning. He says, mobile notary is not buying my house. I'm not going to sign a contract with a mobile notary. You are going to sign the contract with me, or I'm not going to do the deal with you. So what do you do in this situation? You live, whatever, 800 miles away from this situation. What would you guys do?
Go to it.
Go to it? Okay, anything else besides go to it? Because a lot of us are busy, we got kids, all that kind of stuff. What's an easier way to do it?
Send assistant.
Send an assistant. Okay, great. He already turned that down.
Meet someone else.
Someone on your YouTube channel.
Oh, okay, I like that. Cool. So here's what I tried. I went to the largest real estate website. People pay a monthly fee to be a part of this thing. It's massive. If you're in the real estate industry, you know this website. I won't say it out loud because right now I'm currently creating a clone, if you did not know. I do not want this clone saying things 1,000 times for the rest of my life and saying something I don't mean. And I don't want to call them out because it's not their fault. But here's what happens. I go on that forum and I go, I need help. I've got a deal that I can contract in North Colorado. I'm buying the house in Phoenix, and the homeowner won't sell the contract or sell the deal to me or sign the contract unless somebody from my team or my partner goes and physically meets with them. So I make this thing. And the first thing that happens is I get criticized. Criticism, 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 just blowing me up. You probably don't deserve to buy the deal. Why don't you get your ass in a car? Blah, blah, all the things. Well, guess what? Here's what happens. One of the last comments, a guy comes in and he goes, hey, I can help you. Let's joint venture. We'll do a joint venture agreement where I can be your partner on just this deal. And I'm like, yes, this is amazing. This is what I freaking needed. So I coordinate with him to go out to the guy's house. And all of a sudden, I don't hear from the JV partner. What do you guys think happened? Interesting. Does that kind of stuff happen in your industry too? Okay. So I get a call from the homeowner. He says, hey, Pete, the guy that you sent over here, printed out the post you made on that website and brought it to me and showed me that you and him are not actually partners, but he wanted me to sign the contract with him. Interesting. A website that I'm paying for that says the word community all over it, everywhere. Go into the community forums, the community forums, the community forums. This guy takes it and goes to the freaking extent of printing out this document, taking to this guy's house, and going around to stab me in the back. Interesting. Interesting, interesting. So the homeowner calls me, and he says, I'm a man of my word. I'm an old school guy. I told you I was going to sell my house to you. As long as you did this by Friday at 5 o'clock, that offer still stands. Guys, it's Thursday at 6 p.m. There's no flights. I can't get out there. This guy, by the way, you guys see where Denver is? He lived up in Sterling, Colorado. That's a 3-hour drive from Denver on roads that are like 45 miles an hour. This guy's like he's basically a billionaire, owns an oil field up there, and he's like, come up and meet me in my house. There was no flights that I was going to get there by 5 o'clock. So what I did is I'm like, screw it, not going to do the deal. I'm not going to do the deal. And at 3 o'clock in the freaking morning, I wake up and I'm like, I'm going to do this deal just to show Pete he's an asshole. So I get in my little Prius, okay? Get in my little Prius. I'm a Prius guy. I'm not a big car guy, but I get in my Prius. This is the actual car right here. And I drive all the way up, and I meet this guy face to face. He signs the contract. We do the thing. That's a whole 2-hour conversation. We could talk about all the life lessons I learned from this man was amazing. Honored his word, watched out for my back. He was a businessman growing up, and he was like, you're going to find out that there's no sense of community anywhere in the world. That's what he says to me. Oh, man, that hit me hard. I just drove 16 hours in a Prius. That's the first thing he says to me is you'll find no sense of community in this world. The only thing a man can rely on is his own word, and that's why I honored what I told you over the phone. He says, if I was not an honorable man, I would have signed with Pete, who actually offered me $5,000 more than you. Wow, that's pretty cool. This guy taught me a pretty powerful lesson. So I walk out. I'm about to get in my car to drive back down to Phoenix. And his son, I didn't know it was his son at the time, but his son comes driving up this dirt driveway, just and big dust cloud coming up behind him. Guy skids up in front of my Prius, gets out, walks up to me like he's going to punch me. He puts his hand out to shake my hand. He goes, I just want to shake your hand. My dad told me about what happened with this guy, Pete, on this website, this community forum. And I just want to shake your hand and say, good job. My dad honored his word. You honored your word. This was amazing. I just was watching it from a distance, and I knew about this Chase guy. By the way, my name's Pace, but he was calling me Chase. He goes, I told my dad that this Chase guy, there's no way that Chase is going to show up and do this. Well, proved him wrong. Here's what happens. I get in my Prius, and for 16 more hours, I drive home. And the only thing I could think of was, why is there no community in real estate? A true group of people that get together and watch out for each other's interests more than the other person. And if somebody does something horrible to somebody else, they get extracted from that community. So what I did is I actually created a plan. And I went home and I started getting to work. And this is what I did. This is the first step I did. I take that little Prius, still have it to this day, by the way. I love this freaking Prius. And I go, all right, I go on Instagram stories and I go, you know what I'm going to do? It has to start with me. I can't rely on anybody else. It has to start with me. And so what I did is I go, hey, anybody that wants to meet me at Circle K at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'll take you around town and I'll show you exactly what my business looks like. Open book. You want to know why? Because Chat GPT is already going to do it. I didn't know Chat GPT was going to do this. All these secrets people have, you know what Chat GPT is going to do? It's going to show how many times an appraiser does an appraisal on a yearly basis and who's the most active appraiser in the state. That's how intense this is going to be. This ain't no Google. Google is afraid of Chat GPT. Okay? So the information is not important. It's the sense of helping a real human being. It's the heart of actually wanting to help somebody. Guys, I come from a family of 12 kids. My parents woke me up at 4:30 in the morning, brought us up the stairs. We went around the circle and we all read a verse or maybe even a chapter in the Bible. And we stopped, we paused, and my mom and my dad said, what did you learn from that? What are your thoughts? That is how I learned the Bible. I didn't learn the Bible by reading information. This is the advantage that you have over a Chat GPT. If you can be good human to human, you will dominate. Would you automate your relationship with your children? Would you automate the relationship with your wife? You will see people try and automate their relationship with their community, their customers, etc. And those are the people that will lose. No AI, no artificial intelligence will ever replace our deep desire to be part of a herd. And so here's what ends up happening. I post on my Instagram stories, I go, who wants to come and hang out with me and spend 12 hours with me on a Saturday, going to my appointments, raising money, seeing what my construction site is? Would that help you guys? Yeah. Especially as contractors. You know what I need to see when I want to build a house? I don't need somebody telling me what to do. I need somebody pulling out the blueprint and showing me how to build a house. And not even just the blueprint. I don't need information. I need to know how to implement. Okay, one person that helped me implement, Ryan Chenoweth, why I love him. He took me on a lot of appointments, so give Ryan Chenoweth a freaking round of applause. Super helpful, super instrumental in my success, and I appreciate you so much. And I beam, and I talk about you on my YouTube channel. I talk about two people that helped me a lot in my life. You are definitely one of them. And I shout your name from the rooftops. I appreciate you. So Here's what happens on the first Saturday that I ever did this. How many people showed up at Circle K at 6 o'clock in the morning? 0 people. So here's what I did. I'm a marketer, right? I didn't know I was a marketer, but I'm a marketer, like deep down. So this is what I did. I took my phone out and I was like, throughout my day, I was like taking selfies of me and my Prius. I was like, the people in this Prius are getting so much value today. And I didn't have real people to post about. So here's what happens. I started getting DMs from people that go, oh man, I'm so sorry I missed out. What did I create? FOMO, right? Feeling of missing out. I created FOMO, unintentionally, by the way. I just felt stupid. So it was like my Band-Aid to put on my wounds was, look at all these people I got in the Prius. I was like this shy of buying a mannequin, so there was like a silhouette in the car type of thing. So next week, Wednesday, I go, oh man, I don't know what it was, but maybe it was because I didn't give people enough time. So I do it again. How many people showed up at Circle K 6 o'clock in the morning? 3 people. The perfect amount of people to fit in this little Prius. All right, so check this out. Now I've got real people to post about on my Instagram. And I actually had Debbie Lou, who to this day is one of my private money lenders. I think we have $3 million of her money. She was a girl that reached out on Instagram, hung out in my Prius with me, and she's like, wow, Pace took me on an appointment, made me truly understand this business. This is amazing. To this day, I have $3 million of her money tied up in real estate deals that she gets a monthly check on, I make money on, pretty cool, right? Next week, how many people showed up? 60 people showed up at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Circle K parking lot. And Circle K goes, you got to get the hell out of here. Okay, so see this little corner right here? You see Circle K in the left-hand side right there. So this is what I did. That morning, I drove across the parking lot and see that big parking lot where it says Google? I did a whole meetup at 6 o'clock until 6 o'clock in that parking lot. I just sat there and talked to people for 12 hours straight. These are the things that Chat GPT and automation will never be able to do. And you have to think about how can you implement this in your own business? It might be collaborating with your competition. It might be doing a luncheon with another appraiser. It might be doing all sorts of those types of things to bring in collaboration. So it got out of control, guys. They say I have no minutes. Are you guys okay with I go like 3 or 4 more minutes?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I run out of time, right? I'm like, dude, it's 6 o'clock. I spent my whole day teaching people in a parking lot. And I realized that like 2 miles away, I have a whiteboard and an office that I could have taken everybody over to. But I was just so engaged with really wanting to help people. So it got out of control. What we ended up doing is for about 2 or 3 months, we started ordering taco trucks and having big taco parties at our office on Fridays. And we would just whiteboard for people hours and hours and hours. Here's how we're doing the deals. Here's the address. Here's our problems in our business. Here's our employee. Here's our this. Here's our that. Would that help you guys if you were trying to learn business?
Oh, yeah.
These are the things that real people need, is implementation. Implementation is way more important than information. Okay? So it got out of control. And somebody goes, you need to start a Facebook group. So I started a Facebook group. And within a week, I had 45 members. Those were the people that basically showed up to Circle K. Okay? I created a promise for this group, and I said that I would do something that other people wouldn't do. And every morning at 3 o'clock in the morning, I would go out in my garage. Now, Arizona has mosquitoes, right? Anybody have, who's from Florida? Yeah, we don't have mosquitoes like you guys, but we have mosquitoes. And I would go out in my garage because we had a brand new baby, and I didn't want to wake up the baby, and I'd go in my garage, and I would answer every single person's question in my Facebook group with a 3-minute video, every single time. Face to face. Again, something Chat GPT will never be able to do. Human to human. Okay? I then had 200 members within a couple of weeks. A couple of weeks later, I had 400 members. Next thing you know, in about 4 weeks, I had 1,000 members. And now I started getting people in Texas and Florida and other things coming in and going, wow, this guy is giving away more information than I paid $25,000 for one time. And he's not just doing it, he's actually addressing people's personal names. and my individual problem, my individual situation. Next thing you know, it's 3,000 members. There's a whole bunch of stories here, but I gotta cut this down. Next thing you know, it's 4,000 members. This is what I then started doing. I started doing one-on-ones with people that were the most active. I go, man, I can't answer every question. This is getting out of control. Think about this. If I'm you're an appraiser, right? Inspector, okay. Sorry, I was using the wrong thing. I'm an inspector. Think about if you had a Facebook group with other inspectors all over the country. Would that help you branch out and open branches in other markets, recruit people that are like, I want to be an inspector, but I'm not ready. I'd rather just work for you. Could you maybe recruit people to go, man, I want to invest in your satellite office in Wyoming or this or that or whatever else? You see how a Facebook group can actually help you do anything you want to do? And so what I did is I created this community of people, and the most active people, I rewarded them with one-on-one calls, 1 hour one-on-one calls. And I would take those one-on-one calls and I would put them in the Facebook group, and then all of a sudden people go, oh my gosh, you're like answering people's individual problems and individual situations. You're memorizing their names and you're caring about them. Well, it got crazy. It got crazy to the point where I had to start going live in that Facebook group. And look, this is what's funny. Look how stupid I look. Okay? Horrible lighting. Literally what you guys don't see is I'm on a laptop with 3 cardboard boxes, and the little laptop cord kept popping out. And I had to keep leaning over to like plug it back in. I did that for 16 hours straight. Okay? Next thing you know, I'm at 5,000 members. Then all of a sudden people start talking about it. Okay? Next thing you know, people start asking me, will you ever do a meetup in Dallas, Texas? This was Houston. Next thing you know, and I know every single one of those people's names. Next thing you know, I got people sending me real estate deals. I got people I can recruit. Most of my employees are from this Facebook group. Most of my investors are from this Facebook group. Most of everything I've had and benefited from in my real estate career has actually come from a free Facebook group. Okay? I didn't know this at the time. And it's interesting because what people want me to talk about all the time is these people that have brands are lacking one thing. They're lacking a community. They're lacking a group of people that even in their absence, those people are helping each other more than the person that was leading it from the beginning ever could. That is what real community is. And there's a reason why I spoke on the Menace Boys stage, is because I believe these guys are building a really great community. People that are truly here to help each other, not backstab, not go around each other, but look for each other's problems. I'm going to tell you guys one last little story, but my Facebook group is now at 75,000 members. Pretty cool. All from just giving people value and answering their problems and caring about them. And you know what's funny? Is yes, I'm good at telling stories, and yes, I can create analogies and metaphors that people can get to understand creative finance, which is my specialty. But what people compliment me on more than anything else is how much I care about other human beings. And this is how you're going to dominate, truly. And you'll have to sit down and think about it as an inspector. How can I implement these types of things in my individual business? Who can I collaborate with? Who's your best friend that's an inspector? Do you have one? No. That's a problem. My best friends are my biggest competitors. Can you imagine going to dinner, maybe a double date, taking your beautiful wife on a date with another inspector and talking about, what are you doing? How are you amplifying your business? How are you solving that problem? Oh, that's great. Oh, you have that problem? This is how I solve that problem. And then you guys are actually trading referrals. When that person can't handle business, you can take that business and vice versa. Isn't that interesting? All right. All right, cool. I have so many stories. I go on for 25 hours. Check this out. Okay, I got 2 little stories. This one will take 1 minute. How did I get a TV show? Here's how I got a TV show. Jamil and I were traveling around the country, okay, speaking, doing the things. My wife and I were traveling around in our Airstream, and we were just doing meetups and helping people in real estate, and I'm buying up deals and doing all the things. Jamil and I are speaking on stages and podcasts, and Jamil one day, he goes, dude, I'm tired. Check this out. This is really interesting. He goes, I'm tired. I don't want to work anymore. Can you just give me like a week, bro? Don't call me. Don't text me. Like, you're wearing me out. I go, sure. So we get off the road. We come home from Houston one time from a big meetup. And I'm restless. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go buy a deal. So I start texting all these people in town. I'm like, all right, I'm back in town for a week. I want to buy a deal today. Let's send me a deal. So I get a text message from a guy named Ryan. And the text message is like, I got a deal. It's $165,000. Do you want it? I go, done. I want the deal. And he says, 5 minutes later, I'm thinking, like, in real estate, the way that works is like, you said you're good. Ryan, you tell me, if I send you a deal at 165 and you say yes to it, is that deal done regardless of paperwork? Like, I retrade you and I come back and I go, I'm sorry, Ryan, it's 175. How, like, I'm blackballed, basically. Absolutely. That's how that industry works, okay? So here's what happens. Ryan sends me a text message back. He goes, dude, I'm so sorry, but I got another guy bidding me up at 175. I'm like, bro, why did you send the deal to me at 165 if you got another guy? Like, fine, I'll go to 175. And I'm thinking in the back of my mind, oh my gosh, I never want to do another deal with this guy. So I go, all right, I'll do 175. And he goes, can you go a little over 175? Because that's what this other guy's at. And I go, dude, like, you gave me the deal. I committed to it. Like, what more do you want me to do? I go, fine, I'll do 175 and $1, you knucklehead. He comes back 10 minutes later, and what do you guys think he says? 185. And I'm like, who is this asshole on the other side of the thing bidding me up? And this price is starting to become like not worth it. If I flip this house, I'll make 40, and you got buffer in there. I might make 30 grand on this. And this guy just bid me up 20 grand. I got a $10,000. Would anybody in here flip a house just to make 10 grand if it took 5 months of your life? Hell no. So I go to Jamil and I'm like, bro, I know you don't want to bother. I know you don't want me to bother you, but I got some asshole bidding me up to 185 and I need you to verify if this is a good number or not. And his reply was, I'm the other asshole. And I go, all right, here's what we should do. We should just buy the deal together. He goes, really? I go, yeah, let's buy the deal together and let's just tell Ryan, hey, congratulations on trying to bid us up against each other, but we're going to collaborate. We're going to stop this competition thing. And so what we do is the very next day, I go to the house. This is the house. I pass it every day. I go on my Instagram and I go, who wants to come to a house to watch me and Jamil do a walkthrough on a house that we were fighting on, but we decided to collaborate on? And we go do a YouTube video. You know how many subscribers I had on my YouTube channel this time? 1,200. Somebody shares this video with A&E, and A&E calls me a week later and goes, we want to give you a TV show all about collaborating with your competition. Isn't that amazing? So,
Is it Ryan Pineda?
oh, the guy in the middle? No, not Ryan Pineda. Actually, I'm good friends with this guy. Sorry, it's not Ryan Chenoweth. Definitely not Ryan Chenoweth. That guy made 60 grand on that deal, by the way. Who's not in real estate that doesn't understand how that works? Everybody in here understands how that works, the wholesale stuff. So what happens in that situation is he goes to a homeowner, knocks on the door, works out a price with the homeowner, let's say $100,000. He takes the contract and he comes to a guy like me or a guy like Ryan and he goes, hey, will you buy this contract from me? He's selling the contract or the rights to the contract. It's called an assignment. He made 60 grand by knocking on the door and having me buy the deal. And at the signing table, I said, congratulations, man, you should have made more money. Good job. So real quick, as I wrap up, these big deals, 138 unit deal that I just closed on 4 or 5 months ago, I guess that's all I got on there. Last year, I acquired 1,500 rentals in 1 year. The majority of those rentals came from where? My community. From helping other people. From solving other people's problems. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen with Chat GPT or GPT and all the technologies that's going to come out is it's going to automate. And I look at that as the greatest thing ever. Because the people with real true hearts that want to help heart to people are going to be the people that dominate. In fact, I think AI is going to remove all the crap between all the human beings, and we're going to be able to connect directly with each other. And the people who are trying to automate their relationships and automate everything in their life are going to be the people that lose. And so this year, our goal is to acquire $500 million in real estate this year. Just this year. I found my partners, I found my employees, my private money lenders, all of that from my community. And it all started by somebody stabbing me in the back and finding a need. And I look at every one of your guys' industries and I go, every single one of you guys could be doing the same exact thing. People say, how do I recruit? How do I hire people? How do I raise money? How do I get a good partner? You got to provide value and they will come. Best Kevin Costner movie, what is it?
Field of Dreams.
And what's the most popular line of that movie?
If you build it,
if you build it, they will come. And if you guys are lacking community, 1, join a community. 2, create a community, and you guys will be able to dominate in your individual niche. That's all I have for you today. Hopefully this was helpful. Thank you so much.
That was pretty solid. We can't let you go yet, bro. We got to ask you
Yeah.
$1 million question. What does being a menace mean to you?
Being a menace means disrupting. Seeing what happened with Pete, the guy stabbing me in the back, and saying, I'm not going to be a person that just sits there and takes it. I'm going to go create change in front of me. I'm going to be the tip of the spear instead of saying, man, somebody needs to go create a community. You have to be the person that does the hard work. You have to be the person that says, come meet me in Circle K at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'll take you in my Prius, and freaking letting stinky strangers sit in your car with you. That's being a menace.
Menace, Tom. Give some love to
Thank you, brother.
Morby.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.